So for the past 3 years, I have primarily been filming golf videos specifically for YouTube. And in that time, I have acquired quite the arrangement of gear that I think best helps me film what I need to at the highest quality while also all fitting in this somewhat small-ish bag. If you don't know me, my name is Ryder Riva. I do all the filming and editing for the GM Golf YouTube channel.
Ryder is the editor, videographer, literally everything, the brains, the engine behind GM Golf.
I appreciate you being here. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Dude!
In the front row, kicking back, old school tracks like damn.
Now, I wouldn't say this is the most neatly packed bag, but the fact that I can fit everything in here is kind of a miracle. It's not exactly light. It actually weighs in, once I add my computer, at 37 pounds, which is heavier than my check bag with all my clothes and stuff. Starting off with the main camera, I have the Sony FX3. I can't really ask much more from a camera. I switched from the Canon R6 and the colors are great. It does 4K 120. The batteries last me all day. I use this for thumbnail pictures. It is light. This thing is great. On it, to have like a little bit better grip, I have a Peak Design little handle thing. For everything I mention in the order I mention it in, it'll all be in the description if you want to check it out. Little Peak Design handle, it makes it so much more comfortable and nice to hold on to. Paired with that Sony FX3 and what is, during golf at least, is on the camera probably 85–90% of the day, is the Sony FE70-200 Macro GOSS2. Main reason for f4 is just so that it fits in here. An f2.8 would be nice, but at the same time, for filming outside, I don't really need the extra bokeh or low light performance that you get with the f2.8. This is great for getting up close, usually slow-mo shots of people swinging. You can get some good compression, kind of blur the background a little bit, isolate the subject. This thing is great. I also have an ND filter for it. It's a pretty cheap one. Also paired with the FX3, I have the Sony 24-72, these names are so long, I don't know, GM2. Wait, that's this thing is used mainly for vlog stuff, sometimes before in intros. It's a 2.8 aperture lens. It's great in low light, which is great for vlogging. Also, going back to the FX3, this thing has dual native ISO, so when it is dark, I can still get great images out of it. Another feature I like of this lens is it has a kind of wheel for aperture. A lot of times if I'm going from dark to light or light to dark, I can just kind of scroll this wheel and adjust the exposure that way smoothly. Paired with that 70-200, I have a Peter McKinnon, I don't know exactly what it is, but they'll also all be like text right here, I'm guessing. ND filter, I love it because it's like magnet and I can just magnet it on there. Like if I'm outside, need it to go on real quick, then go inside, need extra light, I can take it off very quickly. Okay. Next for cameras is we have the Panasonic HCX 1500. This thing is what you see filmed down the line, the zoom in shots, the shots that have the tracers on it most of the time. And this thing is, in my opinion, the best golf camera money can buy. It comes in at around, I think, $1,500, but you can probably get it for cheaper on eBay. I think I've even seen them at Best Buy for like $1,000. I would say it's what most golf YouTubers film with. Bob Does Sport, Grant Horvat at one point, Micah Morris, Good used it back in the day, and obviously GM Golf uses it, we use it. It's got a 25-800 equivalent zoom. That allows for getting wide when we're walking around just, you know, on the green, and then it allows us to zoom in all the way on shots that are landing. It is light, and these batteries will last you all day, unless you're playing 36 holes, then maybe you'll need 2 of them. Stabilization is great. It's got built-in NDs, which I don't use. I think eventually I'll make a whole other video just on this camera and how to set it up, and because there's a couple settings that you would want to change to get the most out of it. Couple cons is it doesn't have great dynamic range. There's workarounds around it, but I'd say that's the only con. Could use a better sensor. But other than that, it's a great camera. We got 2 of them actually. One for main camera, one for going up to the green with, or sometimes me and another videographer have to split up to keep up pace of play. 2 more extra batteries for those cameras. Next camera per se is the drone that I have. It's used for obviously getting whole flyover shots. Sometimes you see the ball coming past the drone. I love getting those kinds of shots. Nothing too special here. It's a Mavic 3 Classic, good dynamic range, battery life. I film in D-Log most of the time. Sometimes if it's kind of a course, I'll just film in regular, so it saves me the time color grading. With that, I also have 2 extra batteries, so 3 batteries in total. These 2 extra will provide me flexibility if I want to get more than just whole flyovers, if I want to fly it during the round, sometimes after if it's better lighting, and so on and so what. That's not the phrase. Next, for cameras, I have 2 GoPros. One of them's a 12, one of them's an 11, I think. I feel like after the GoPro Hero 10, they all are about the same, so get you a GoPro. It's got great stabilization. With those 2 little suction mounts, I like these ones because they're small, they fit in my bag. Basically, they go on here, you screw these in, and they just stick on to the screen thing. Paired with these little suction mounts are the screws that go into the GoPro, and I actually got different ones because the ones that come with the GoPros, they're so hard to screw in and never get tight enough. So these ones, they're a little bit bigger and easier to screw in tightly to secure the GoPro properly. Another thing that's technically considered a camera that we use sometimes is just a phone for times where we are vlogging in public and don't want to bring a camera, or you kind of need it in a cinch. These are great. I'm guessing you have a phone. Last camera, and certainly not least, is this Canon Vixia HR40. I don't know exactly what it is. I literally got this on Facebook Marketplace for $100, and this thing sucks. But that's what makes it so good. It kind of has that like old style footage, and it's easy to throw in your pocket. I'll play some clips right now from footage from it. Literally, I mean, this thing is, the quality sucks, but it's kind of cool. It's a dad cam is what it is. It's an old dad cam. That wraps up the camera portion of the video. Now we are going into audio, which in my opinion is the most important thing when it comes to any video ever. For audio, the mics that I use are the Tentacle Sync Track E's. They are the lav mics that you see. They are the best investment I've ever made because they have built-in time code, which I think I'm gonna make a whole other video just talking about these because they're so cool that they deserve their own video. Basically, they all sync up manually, they record internally, the battery lasts all day, it's 32-bit float, they're light, they just go in your pocket. Can't say enough great things about these. What I've also started doing recently is plugging in, this is a Rode Video Mic Pro, and I've just been plugging these in straight into the Tentacle Syncs, so this audio is also high quality 32-bit float and syncs up with the lav mics people wear. Because sometimes I'll need to cut to this audio, sometimes I do it if, you know, it's a swing, or if I say something behind the camera, and I'm not wearing a mic, I'll cut to that. Again, these are the Rode Video Mic Pros. Paired with it is this Dead Cat windscreen, and I don't think you can get these on Amazon, but they're on the Rode website. It's basically like a Dead Cat and the cover built in. Got 2 of those, one for each of the Panasonics. I like having the green cam also with good audio, a shotgun audio, to get the ball sound coming in, hitting. It's one of my favorite sounds in golf. It's like a swoosh in basketball. It's great. The lav mic itself, which is just the wire that goes into the Track E's, it's just the one that comes with the recorder. The other thing that I've paired with it, and what I highly recommend to get rid of wind sounds, is a Dead Cat for the microphones. I have one for each of the lav mics. They're like probably $15 on Amazon, and save your audio from sounding like a windstorm is happening if it's windy. That pretty much does it for audio, but continuing the Tentacle talk, these are Sync E's, and what these do is plug into the cameras to basically tell the camera at what point it was filmed so that you can later sync it up. Again, I'll make a whole video about these later because there's a lot to talk about with them, but one of these is plugged into each of the cameras and GoPros. I think that's it. Next, I forgot to mention this when talking about the drone, but basically just have a controller for the drone. I used to have it to where I used my phone, but having something that's dedicated to the drone is nice, and this works great. Now on to the accessories side of things, little things that just make my life easier. Starting off with these cords that plug into the carts and plug into the GoPros. This cord has a little bit of an angle to it so that when the GoPro is pressed up against the screen, it's not poking out or doesn't like, you know, mess with it at all. I have 2 of these, one for each GoPro. A lot of times the courses, their plugs don't work, so that's why I have backup GoPro batteries. 2 of these per camera is enough to last you the whole day. Next, I got these Sony batteries. I have probably 5 or 6 of them, maybe 7. The number goes down over the months. They last a while, but sometimes if we're filming all day or there's vlog stuff, it's good to have backups. I got these rubber bands on them to tell me if they're charged or not. So rubber band on, charged. Rubber band off, not charged. We got chargers for the Sony, chargers for the Panasonic camera, a little 4-thing plug here for the mics. It takes USB-C, the mics just plug in. Extra lav mics, extra cables. It's always good to have extra cables in case something breaks or goes missing, who knows. Next is where I keep all of my SD cards. Basically, the way I do it is I have 2 pairs of the same kinds of cards. So for one trip, I'll use one set of cards, and for the next trip, I'll move that set of cards into here. These set of cards will move into everything, into the cameras. We don't like deleting things, so yeah, just in case. Got a couple SSDs for backing up footage. 2 of these SD card readers to faster help me transfer footage at the end of the day. Got some sunglasses, mints. I have a sensor cleaning kit just in case my sensor gets dirty and I need to clean it on the trip. Oh, and also paired with that is this little rocket guy that helps clean the sensor better too. Portable charger, headphones, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you enjoyed this or found any value from it, maybe you learned something. I didn't really teach a whole lot, but you learned what I use, and maybe that'll help you decide what you want to use to make golf videos in the future. Subscribe. I'm gonna try to come out with some more videos to help you guys out. Let me know if you have any ideas, something you want to learn, and yeah, happy day.